on your own. Please help yourself. Also, there's a table of goodies on the way out if you want to kind of pick up some water bottles, Faraday cage bags, milk bags, etc. That bag. Help yourself with that as well. And then Rose, Cal and Phil all have vouchers to the trustee for any questions. So I will, without further ado, leave you to Rose.
Hi again, everyone. I hope lunch is good. I really want to start with one quick question just before we dive into what I have for you today. How many of you know exactly what area of technology you want to work for? Can you raise your hand? This is a pre-judgment zone, so it's okay. Okay. Software, okay. I'm sorry.
Architecture and healthcare.
Okay, cool. Just one more? Which one? Who? Okay. Oh, very nice. Okay. Well, I'm going to start by giving a very quick intro about who I am. So, I'm Rose, as I was mentioning slightly earlier. I work with Dan in the innovation team. I have a computer science background and also an artificial intelligence and business strategy master's degree. I studied at Aston. So, this talk is basically for me to share a little bit of all the roles that I have been in different industries, in different sizes of company. I could say that I've been a little bit doing everything. So I've been working in tech for 8 years, this year actually. I started being quality assurance engineer at a California tech company in LA. Then I jumped into web development. And then I was like, but what's behind all this? So I really want to get into the nitty-gritty of how does this work? How applications work in the cloud? How does that look like? So I joined a cloud engineering role, and after that, and this is actually a really funny story about how I got my first leadership role, especially being a woman, because I will touch a little bit about how there are not many women out there in a lot of tech or leadership roles. So I remember I was having a lunch with the CEO of the first company that I worked for, and I mean, we had an amazing relationship. And I remember we were having lunch and he basically said, you know what if you come back to the company? And I was like, what are you talking about? I was happy in my cloud engineering role. I was learning a lot about infrastructure, VPNs, security, especially for big companies. And he basically said, well, I really need somebody doing customer success, so he offered me the customer success director. And that was my very first role in a leadership position. And of course I joined, and it was really fun. I mean, I really enjoyed working with that team and working in the LA, California, US health space. And it was really nice. And after that, and I'm going to touch a little bit on what Dan was saying earlier as well about the gap that exists, because it is a reality. There is a gap in technology, and all the things that you have learned so far, there's a gap between what you know and reality and in the market out there. And this is not to scare you at all. This is the whole opposite. You have an amazing opportunity right now to be able to choose whatever area you want to choose. And my main focus with telling you all this is to share a little bit about every experience I've had in every role that I've been through, so that you feel more comfortable and more willing to try different things. And when I realized that I had a gap in my leadership position, it was because I didn't know how to merge technology and leadership. I knew, or I realized that I was lacking a little bit of understanding how to translate technology to customers, to the market, how can I use an algorithm that I built in class and that I know that actually works to put it out there and actually be a good employee for a good company. So I moved to the UK, that was 2.5 years ago now, because a lot of companies, they do need somebody that could actually put everything together and with the technology in the background and with the technology foundations. And I know because AI is the hot right now, but AI will literally become as mandatory as Excel. I would really like to push this to question time so that you guys can ask me if you have any questions about this. And how many women do we have here? Can women raise your hand? Okay. I have a question. So does anybody know, and I'm entitled to give vouchers here, so I'll give a voucher to the person who is able to give me the closest number. But does anybody know how many women in tech we have in the industry right now? 2%. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want people to guess based on what I said. So okay, we have 2% here. Another one. 20? 12? 10. Anybody else? 5, 3, 2, 1. 8? Okay. Who said 20? You said 20. Okay. I'll give a voucher. So right now it's around 26% of women being in the tech. I'm sorry. I'm punching people right now. So, in my 8 years of being in contact with customers, CTOs, CEOs, owners of companies, I've seen a lot of things. But what is really interesting is that I think in 80% of all the conversations I have had, I'm the only woman speaking tech, which is nothing wrong about it, but I think we as women have some skills that we could actually take advantage. So I would really, I don't know if I went over time for questions or if we're good for questions. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
What would be the biggest challenges that you've faced in the industry as a female, and like what kind of like advice would you give?
I would say two. The first one was, I remember more than one person, when you speak with tech people from other companies or third parties, they tend, okay, well, what's your role? Like, why are you even in this meeting? And it's rough, and it's a rough reality. This might not be a very nice talk, but it's a reality check. So I really needed to stand for myself and say, well, I'm an engineer, I have blah, 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 this kind of experience, and I'm more than capable of helping you with your problem. So I think there still needs to be a little bit of education in some way out there in these kind of situations. And my other challenge, which is a little bit more personal, but is I was a mom. So I became a mom when I was in year 1 in uni. So sometimes the times will not fit the best, but at the end of the day, it was very rewarding as well to have both, like my personal and my career, both in a very good position. So, yeah.
Do you think it's like improving the situation, like in terms of like female in tech and how they're being perceived by others?
I think it is, but I think it's going really slow, really, really slow, like minus 5.7 speed. So I would really encourage you, if you have any sort of interest in technology and leadership, you can really get there. it's really nice when you get into another room to speak technical with other women. And again, nothing wrong with speaking tech with guys, but it's just slightly different. So. Nothing else? Okay, great. Thank you all.
Yeah, turn to the next one.
Cybersecurity. So from this morning, obviously, I'm in sales, so commercial in cybersecurity for 25 years. I've done most roles from kind of telesales all the way through to commercial director. My role at SCC is a cybersecurity sales specialist, which means interacting with customers and trying to understand what they're trying to achieve and what they're competing against. It's a very old picture. It's my wedding suit. What we're not going to do, unless you have any questions, is me talk to you about sales, but I'm more than happy to talk to anybody around why sales might be a thing for a career. Has anybody in this room considered a role further from where you are today in the sales kind of industry, whether that be? You can have a voucher, sir. Could you explain why you're considering for the voucher? Yeah, perfect. Well done. Could you all go to a quiz, and it's going to be anonymous. A couple of disclaimers. First of all, it's safe to look at the QR code. It's not malicious at all. We're not going to take the details, so we'll have an anonymous quiz. Second disclaimer, which you do know, is that I was asked to create a quiz on cyber and AI. So I used Microsoft Copilot to create this quiz, just to see. So I will also take the fact that I haven't fact-checked it, so if anybody can disagree with any of the answers they come through, there might also be a voucher available to you as well. Have you time to move that on?
Can I get a QR code?
Yeah, I think it's actually come off the presentation, hasn't it? There we go. Sorry, I've got to flip between applications. Move that for a little bit. I'll do another voucher question before, because this will be kind of a polling kind of quiz. Can anybody give me their reasons why they think cybersecurity is important to organisations, or why organisations invest in cyber defence?
Is to protect their programs or their company from data breach or threat.
Yeah.
So they don't want to be fined or have legal penalties on their company, especially within the EU.
Yeah. A fine is probably where I would go back to everything. So you've got regulation, you've got data, you've got intellectual property and so on. And most companies do care about cyber and invest in cyber because of the financial impact of not doing so. But that is reputation and everything else. So well done you. Cool. It's going to be all over. Which AI technique is commonly used for detecting non-reason network traffic? Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, or transfer learning? I agree with you. Yeah. Unsupervised learning. I've probably asked Rose to explain what unsupervised learning is as well. What is a common application of AI security? Predictive maintenance, phishing detection, image recognition, or natural language processing. the answer is B, so phishing detection. Why do we, anybody explain why phishing detection is useful from AI? Yeah. Yep. How else would you use AI in phishing? From the attack point of view. So AI is also used for phishing. Yeah. Improved accuracy. I think one of the things that SCC are doing, and have done, one of the reasons I came into the organisation, is that we built our own AI and automation platform that sits behind a Microsoft Sentinel scene. And realistically, we talk about visibility, accuracy, and speed as well. And that's the reason in defence, in cybersecurity, we're investing heavily in the AI side as well. It also allows the skills of the analysts to go up a level and probably do less mundane data gathering exercises. It brings all the contextual stuff that then instant to the analysts almost pre-prepared that they can then dive deeper into that threat. I wasn't what is the potential risk of using AI in security? One of the things that Emmanuel stopped, and then I have to go.
So, 6 years ago, I became extremely depressed about AI. I was doing a degree in architecture, and it seemed futile to me. Why am I filling my head with all this information about architecture if it's just going to be automated soon? So, I think the problem was, I was getting all of my information about AI from the media. And it's in the interest of the media to keep you scared of AI, because if you click their articles, that's generating them money. And if you're scared of AI, then that allows big tech and governments to regulate AI. And if they can regulate AI, that is taking power from the many and giving it to the few. Okay, so this is me. I'm Cal. I'm a Part 1 architect, and I work at SCC as an AI innovation consultant. I did my undergrad in University of Sheffield in architecture. I did my master's in computer science and AI at the University of Nottingham. Oh, by the way, that's a QR code if you want to add me on LinkedIn or something. But yeah. So AI isn't just about playing with toys and the latest tech. It's about prosperity and abundance and making a difference in the world. So in 1997, IBM's Deep Blue beat Gary Kasparov in chess. So this guy was like a chess grandmaster. It was machine against human, and the machine won. I think most of us have like Siri or Alexa in our homes trying to be our friends. And AlphaGo, this thing can beat any human in the world at Go. So AI has been climbing the hill for decades, and it's going to carry on going. So in recent years, it's really been accelerating, and every year this just gets faster. We've got more and more cool innovations coming out. So AI's positive impact. I'm basically just going to try and give you guys reasons to be positive and optimistic about the future and show you some cool stuff. How's it being used? AI is being used to create custom solutions for cancer. It's being used for drug discovery. It's being used to treat dementia and Alzheimer's. As well as that, it's being used to clean the oceans. this group of researchers in Japan who used AI to develop an enzyme which can actually digest plastics in the ocean. Scientists are also using AI to analyze images to show them where the plastic is in the ocean. So this is really cool. AI and 3D printing are working together at the moment to actually 3D print buildings. So right now in recent history we've had these really kind of boring blocky buildings, and in the future it's not going to be like that. So why don't we have cool stone buildings with like gargoyles and stuff? Because it's too expensive to do that these days. So if buildings 3D printed, that cost comes way down. I think we're going to have the most beautiful, affordable and efficient buildings that humanity's ever seen. I don't think this is some kind of like elite fantasy. I think this is real, it can be done now, and this will happen. So when I saw this last year, this was the most mind-blowing thing I'd ever seen. This is a music video generated by using prompts with OpenAI's Sora model. Unfortunately, this isn't available to the public yet, but I think this is just so cool. And right now in film, it's Hollywood that has control over the films and series, but in the future, it's going to be people in their bedrooms just making things. Can you imagine like films where the third sequel isn't really lame, or like series that never end? And Game of Thrones, we could use AI to remake Game of Thrones Season 8, which I think would be great. Like, if there's one thing AI can do, it's remake Game of Thrones Season 8 and everything. That'd be worth it for me. There's a QR code there as well, by the way, so watch that music video if you want to. So AI in gaming, with procedural generation, we can make games that just never end. MMORPGs that make you really feel at home, and graphics that make you feel like you're in the Matrix. For me, what I'm really excited about is VR.
So more than happy to kind of get you in touch with that. I can get you some information on that. I'm actually doing an apprenticeship myself to SCC as well in leadership and management, so we're massively supportive of that. So if there's anything you can do on that front, just give me a shout. I can share my email address on the slides and share them later if you want. Yeah. And yes. Oh, yeah, right there. Question. Oh, have you already got one? Oh, there you go. Yes?
Got a question for you, I want to.
Yeah.
Right, how do you feel about AI potentially stealing jobs?
Were you here in the morning?
No, I just came in like 10 minutes ago.
Do you guys want to tell them? So we were talking about in the morning about the panel discussion around how public sector and commercial, they're obviously looking at AI for your adaptability, your ability to keep changing, to evolve with that, to learn. Yeah? Your enthusiasm for learning and technology, that'll take you a long way. Sorry. Another question? There you go. All right.
It was mentioned earlier on about like sometimes ethical applications of some of the ventures that might be taken, such as the gambling site that was mentioned earlier on.
Yeah.
Like, who is it that ultimately makes a decision on that, or is it more like we would organise like a meeting between?
For us within our own company,
Yeah.
cultural. There comes like Alison was saying right at the start about the values of the college. We have values at SCC as well. So customer first, passion, responsibility, family. Somebody give me the last one.
Customer first.
Customer first. So we, and the guys know I've got an awfully high moral standing when it comes to doing the right thing by our customers, and that's been brought up through me in the, well, I'm just that as a person, but that's why SCC suits me, because that's just how we look at things. We want to do the right thing by the customer. We'll challenge the customer to do what's right for them, not what they think they want necessarily. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it was more along the lines that You mentioned earlier on, because obviously there's a use case for that with a private GP. I mean, obviously increases
Yeah.
their quality of life, but obviously something like that becomes mass market.
Yeah.
I mean, what use cases are for that, and then in companies, what boundaries are there to how much of a level of AI you put into that company? You know, there's obviously employees and jobs and things like that, but where do you draw that line?
I'll give you I'm in agreement with you. I think it's an area that people need to debate and think about, because if you think about the stuff that Dan and
own opinion, because especially in philosophical questions, it's impossible to get any opinion from AI.
Very true. Goes back to your bias, doesn't it, Callum? That's a little more of a question for Callum than me. I'm not technical.
What's that, sorry?
So the questions around AI is when you think it'll have its own opinion.
Well, I think, as someone said earlier, I think it was Martin, that large language models don't really know anything. They're just predicting like the next word. So in a way, they don't really have an opinion as such. But like, if you talk to ChatGPT or something, it kind of has an opinion on lots of things, you know.
It's just somebody else's that is rebadged at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, someone else's, but it's based on the pre-training data across the internet or whichever documents that they've given it, you know. So it's kind of like a blend of loads of people's opinions. So it's not really the AI's opinion, it's the opinion of the internet in a way. You know what I mean?
I think that's fair. I don't know unless it becomes a living, breathing, self-thinking, self-fulfilling entity, how it's ever going to have its own opinion per se. Does that answer your question? It's a very philosophical question. Next, sorry.
Hi, I have a question. How AI influenced selection process for looking for a job? For example, what if I wanted to apply, and should I use AI to write my CV or any other task?
I would say that you won't be alone by doing that, but any good experienced person who's recruiting will spot it a mile off. So but I will say, like going through the apprenticeship that I mentioned earlier, whenever like make more succinct, stand it, that kind of thing, bullet it, whatever, just to kind of help tweak it a little bit, but make sure it's your own ideas. Because the worst thing you can do in your CV is over exaggerate or put it in as something that's just sounds too grand or too impressive or unnatural for somebody of who you are and what you're going for in your first step into the outside kind of, you're probably in it, and it's always something new to learn, right? But in government, some of our customers in government, NHS, council, etc., they're being asked to put together their 10 and 20-year strategies for what they're going to do with technology. And if you think about 20 years ago, you would never know where we would be now, so how on earth can anybody expect you to do that? I can't answer that question. Sorry, mate. Is that the last one? Or we'll make this the last one if that's okay. Oh, sorry.
So one of my questions is, why does companies don't invest in summer internships, not just for only undergraduates, for like, or just people in general, like people in college? I think it's something companies should look forward to by rolling out summer internships. So during the summers, we could work in the company, not just for the undergraduates or people who live in university. So I think something you should be looking at.
That's a great idea. Like, you see a lot about that. I don't know what the sort of strength of that is in the UK, but you definitely see a lot of it on TV when it comes to America, that people go and do free work for the summer to get that experience and things. I think that's a great way of doing it. I don't know why we don't do it. Another one maybe to raise with our chief people officer, she's really keen on the apprenticeship side of things. I know that's funded by UK Gov down south at least.
So I would say for SCC, my experience, I mean, they don't have programmes in every department, but I work in marketing in SCC, and that's exactly what I did. So between my first and second year of uni, I came to work for SCC and their marketing team. I then went back to uni, COVID happened, couldn't get any further work experience, so that summer internship for me was then my ticket back into industry, and then I was lucky enough to be invited back once I got my degree into the business. So it is something that they do. Some departments are slightly more difficult to get into because it's technical roles, security, all of that kind of stuff, but they are right there. Sometimes, I know we've spoken today about it's who you know, but also, taking the opportunities from the college, connecting with the people here today, those opportunities might come up for you. So.
Good shout, thank you. Maggie, by the way, organised this whole thing today, absolutely amazing. Thank you. Okay, with you guys, we'll wrap up at that, unless there's any burning questions, or you're more than welcome to come and shout us afterwards. Make sure you take the goodies, the sweeties, and there's actually still some food left in the container for you guys.